Hi all. In today's session, what we are going to see is how to design a table. Okay, which means see, I'm going to give you some hint about how to design how to do a DB design, a complete DB design with respect to some with by based on the some topic. Okay, if you take the school management or college management or anything like that. Okay, so how to do a DB design for that particular thing, for that particular application. Okay, DB design for an specific application, and how to prepare a mock data for that. Okay, so this is the thing which we are going to see in today's session. I will give you one example about um, today we will see the hospital management. Okay, I have already did something with respect to the hospital management. So let me show you all those things, and I will tell you how to prepare the data and how to do the basic structure. Okay, how to do the basic structure with respect to all those datas. Okay, how to collect the data, and also with respect to any other topic. Okay, for example, school management, college management, hospital management, or any grocery store sales management. So anything for any kind of application, you can able to do it. Okay, so we will do it as an exercise also for this particular thing. And now what we are going to see is, okay, I will share my screen first. Hope my screen is visible. Yes or no? Yes. Okay. So I will go here. So initially, what if for an application, if you are working in some company and you are getting requirement for some application. Okay. So initially, the first step, what you have to do is, okay, before developing all those things, before doing all the queries and before inserting all the data inside that, you have to do some planning. Okay, you have to do some planning with respect to the DB design for an application. So here I got an requirement for an application. For example, we will take the hospital management. Okay, for the hospital management, if you are getting some requirement with respect to that, first what you need to do is you have to concentrate on three things. Okay, you have to concentrate first before doing the DB design. You have to concentrate on three things. One is master table. Another one is lookup table. Lookup. Another one is transaction. Right? Transactions. Transaction table. Right? So lookup tables, master tables, and transaction tables. Okay. These three things you have to concentrate first. Okay. So what is mean by a master table? So master tables is nothing but if you are handling an application, first you need to decide what are all the entities you are going to handle. Okay, for example, if you are doing some sale related, okay, some sale related data set, sale related application, then you have to concentrate on those entities like products. Okay, so what are all the products you are having in your store? Right, you have to do the list. You have to keep one list inside the table. Okay, what are all the products you are having? So that is one entity. And customer. right? Who are all the customer coming to your shop, and you have to keep track of them, right? You have to collect their name, their address, their phone number, their email id, in order to promote some product, in order to promote some discount. See, for particular product, the on this date, you can get the discount, like that. You have to promote. If you want to keep in touch with your customer in order to increase your sale, so you have to maintain their record, right? So that is important. So you have to maintain the record. So the customer detail is very much important, and your employee detail, right? So you have to maintain the data set for your employee, where they are coming from, what is their, see, you can't let them, you can't let any stranger as your employee. You can't keep any stranger as your employee. You have to collect their Aadhaar detail, or any other, any PAN card, or any driving license, or any detail, right? Anything which is important for the security purpose of your shop, right? And their address, phone number, their name, right? So all these things, if possible, you can collect their neighborhood phone number also, for the security reason they can give. So in all the IT companies also, they used to collect these things, and also their health related information if possible. So everything you should know about your employee. So all these things should be maintained in one table. So similarly, so these are all the master table. It depends upon the entities, right? It is about the information about each entity, entities in your application, right? So so this is called as the master table. So one more important thing about the master table is where their frequency of changes done in the table is very, should be very less. So that kind of a table should be an master table, right? Frequency of changes done is less. So that kind of that nature of the table, that is a, which means this is the nature of the master table. So that kind of a table can be an master table, which means, see, if you are entering something in the customer, okay, in the customer table, it is not going to change daily. So it is possible that daily your customer is going to change his address, or his phone number. It is not possible, or his name. It is not possible, right? So the entry in the master table, the frequency of the entry in the master table is very less. That is the nature of the master table. And you can keep it, mainly it consists of an primary key. It can consist of foreign key also to maintain the relationship, but mainly it should consist of the primary key. Okay. So for example, here customer ID, here product ID, here employee ID, right? Main thing, these with respect to these three, these can be the primary key in the master table, right? It may contain the foreign key also, that's not a problem, right? It may contain the foreign key also. Okay, depends on the relationship you are going to produce, and depends upon the requirement. Okay, so this is about the master table. Okay, so we have completed the details about the master table. Now we will go to the lookup table. So what is mean by lookup table is, see, if you are, it is used to store the list of values that you are referred in other table. Okay, so for example, the list of things is nothing but, just a minute. enter. So here what we are seeing, so with respect to the lookup table, so it is used to store the list of values. Okay, used to store the list of values that are referred by other table. Okay, for example, in your database, let us take the same sale data. For the same sale data, with respect to this product, okay, with respect to this product, you might have some list of product, right? List of products like rice, grocery, and all the oil, soap, shampoo. So these are the main list of products which you might contain in the product table, right? So this nothing but a lookup is nothing but an, it consists of an list. Okay. So for example, if another, we let us take another example. If customer, okay, if customer is coming from a certain area, okay, certain area or certain city, okay, city might contain some list, one standard list, right? City list. Okay, so if they are coming from certain city, you might have some already you should have the list. Okay, in the front end, during while doing the front end design and all, in UI we use this kind of lookup tables in order to keep the list. Okay, so they can able to, in the drop down, they can able to select in the their city or the branch or the product they need. Like that you can able to select in the drop down list. So these are all the predefined list which you are keeping in your database. Okay. So this is not going to be unique, and this is not going to be as an any kind of a primary key or like that. So this is a category kind of thing. Okay. So mostly the category kind of thing will comes under the lookup tables. Okay. This is just a lookup columns. Okay. These columns are referred some other columns in the table, in the master table or transaction table with respect to the list. Okay. So this is with respect to the lookups. So with we will move on to the transaction. So transaction is nothing but you can able to store the data about some specific events or the transaction. See, if some event is going to happen with respect to these two table, okay, then that is called as an one event. You should store that particular event inside the transaction. Okay, event or transactions which you record in this table. So what is that event is going to happen? What is that event? Okay, so with respect, if I take the sale table, okay, so what is the event which might happen with respect to all these things? So when a customer is coming to get the product through this particular employee, he is getting one product, right? This particular employee is attending this customer and he is getting some product from your store. So that is the transaction event. It is going to happen and you are going to register that particular event in this table. So in this transaction table, what I'm going to do is, for example, say invoice details. So in invoice details, what else I can able to store? Product ID. Product ID. What product they are getting? This product ID should come from the master table. Right here I have stored all the products and their ID. So this is the product this particular customer is getting. So what is the next column? What might be the next column? Customer ID. Right? This customer ID should come from the master table customer. Right? And what is the next? Through which employee or which employee attended this particular customer? Employee ID. So this employee ID should come from the employee master table. We have stored all the details of the employees, right? His name, his address and everything. So that particular ID should come here. Okay, so this is the relationship which we are going to produce. And what is the relationship if this employee id is primary key here, and here the employee id is the foreign key, which is referring the employee table in the master table. So that is the relationship we are going to produce. Right? Similarly, for the customer ID also, here the customer ID is primary key, and here the customer ID is the foreign key. So this is the relationship we are going to produce with respect to the customer table and the transaction table. And what product he got, this particular customer got this product for what amount, okay, rate of the product, and how much quantity he got, okay, two numbers, three numbers, or in liters or anything, okay. So how rate into quantity, so each for the each product rate is this much, and this quantity he got, and final value of the product is rate into quantity. So for this amount, this particular customer got the product. So this is the relationship which we have established between the product, customer, and employee with respect to the primary key and foreign key. And here we are registering one event. What event? This particular customer got this product, and this employee attended this customer, and this is the rate which he got, and this is the total amount which he paid. So this is the event which I am registering, okay, with respect to the transaction. Okay, so it should be registered inside the transaction table. So one more important thing, when compared to the master table, the frequency of changes done is less, right, in the master table, but here the frequency is more, because minute by minute with respect to the sale, minute by minute, okay, I can able to the entry in the table might happen for every minute, right? Every minute one customer can get that, there is a possibility, right? Every single minute, or every 30 second, or every 10 minute, my transaction table is getting updated, right, with the new product, with the new customer, and with the, or with the same customer can come to the store twice. So like that it goes on, right? So the frequency of change done in this particular transaction table is more. Okay, you have to keep this in your mind. So you have to design the transaction table accordingly. Okay, that is the main thing. The frequency of the changes done is more in particular table, then that particular table should comes under the transaction table. So you have to design, while getting an application in your hand, you have to design, okay, you have to decide what are all the tables should comes under master table, what are all the tables should comes under the lookup. What are lookup is nothing but this is not a table, but this is the what do you mean, this is a we can call it as this is the column which consists of the list. This may contain this may be inside the master table or transaction table. Okay, this lookup is nothing but a column which an idea of the table. Okay, this may be contained inside the transaction table or master table or anywhere. Okay, mostly it contains inside the master table only. So, so transaction is nothing but whenever you are getting more frequency of event which you are going to register under one table, then it should comes under the transaction. So this is how you are going to design an table. You are going to do the DB design for the application. Okay. So here we have seen some example for the sale data. Okay, the product, customer, and here what are all the things we have. So in real time, this is not going to be like this. One or two tables. It will not going to end with one or two tables. So in real time, if we are going for Really, if you are going for any hospital management or any other thing, for the master table alone, you will get more than 10 to 20. For the transaction table alone, you will get more than how many columns you are. You can imagine more than 20 to 30 columns you are going to, and you are going to separate all those things, okay, in as a different table, and you have to establish some relationship among them. You can't maintain the transaction table into a single table. Okay, it should be separated into a different entity, and the relationship you need to produce. So in real time, it is you have to be very careful while doing the DB design. Okay, so here I will tell you about the hospital management. Okay, so some simple example for the hospital management. Here, initially what I did was, say I'm going to delete all these things, otherwise I will keep it as an individual. Okay, for this hospital management, what are all the master table which I need? Okay, what are all the lookup I need? Okay, what are all the transaction table I need? Right, this is what we are going to see. So in hospital management, see, the first table is about the hospital table. Okay, this is the hospital table. So inside this hospital table, what I kept is, these are all the columns. The first thing is, if an hospital is having, you can see, one hospital is having a mini branch inside the Chennai itself. You can take it as an example, Malar Fortis, or any Kamachi hospital, Minto hospital. So they are all having many branches, right? They don't have any one branch in one area. So in one area itself, they are having more than one hospital, right? So Adayar branch, Velacheri branch, like that. In Chennai itself, they have many branch, and also you can consider as a whole Tamil Nadu, right? In whole Tamil Nadu, how many branches they might have. So for all those things, in order to maintain their hospitals, okay, their hospital related information. So first thing what you need to do is, you need to set an hospital ID, and this should be in a serial or anything. Okay, so we can keep it as a serial and primary key. Okay, so this should be an primary key and not null. It should be not null. Okay, so this should be consist of this ID is very important. The null value, it will, while after giving the not null constraint, it will not allow to enter the null values inside this hospital ID. Okay, so that is the thing which we did. And branch, okay, this can be varchar. Okay, this would be also a not null. So may at most in the master table, almost all the columns should be not null. It depends upon your requirement, but in the master table, it is very good to keep it all the column as a not null, because we need all those entries, right? We can't leave the branch just like that to enter the null value, and also we can't leave the address also, because if I am just giving the hospital ID alone, the address is null. How can I know if I'm going to enter some patient related details with respect to this hospital ID? How I can able to identify whether that patient is going for this hospital with this address, right? If the address is missing, I can't do anything, right? So it is better to keep the not null constraint for all the columns in the master table. Depends on the requirement. Okay, so this should be also not null. And also for each hospital, there might be one chief doctor will be there, right? So for that chief doctor, so we need to get the chief doctor details in the doctor table. Okay, you can see here I kept one doctor table here. In the here we will got entries for all the doctors who are working under this hospital. Okay, so in this doctor table, the doctor ID should be an primary key and it should be an ordinal and unique. So each doctor should get an unique ID. It should not repeat. So that is the purpose. And for each doctor, this not null is what is the meaning of this not null? For each and every doctor, he must contain the doctor ID. Okay, it is a must to give the doctor ID to that to the all the doctor. It should not be null. Okay, it should not be empty. And also using primary key and foreign key relationship, I am going to establish the relationship. Okay, and also make sure the uniqueness in the column. So this particular doctor ID is the primary key inside the doctor table, right? So in the hospital, okay, this hospital is nothing but one table. In this hospital table, this doctor ID, okay, this doctor ID should be a foreign key for the doctor table. Foreign key reference should comes from the doctor table, right? So this is the reference we are keeping. So who is the chief doctor in this particular hospital? In this particular hospital, present in this particular branch. Okay, so that is the relationship we are going to produce. Okay, so the first table design is over. So tell me, this particular hospital should comes under the master table or lookup or transaction. Which one? Just give a guess. It should comes under the transaction or lookup or master. So it should comes under the master table, because once I have entered the hospital detail, the changes which I am doing is very minimal. And also from this hospital ID only, I am taking all the reference as a primary key foreign key relationship from to the other table. Okay, this hospital ID should comes for the other table also. Okay, so while doing appointments, here I will keep the hospital ID. While doing the admission also, I need to keep the record of the hospital ID. Okay, under which branch? See, they are maintaining the single server for if for example this hospital Apollo or Malar or any hospital, any big hospital, they used to maintain a single database for all the branch. Okay, if I am getting treatment in the Adyar branch, and the if I'm going to shift for any other branch in to the village area or any other branch, then there also I can able to get my details, because they are maintaining the same data set for the all the other branch. My entries will goes on wherever in Tamil Nadu. If I'm going, I can able to get my entry. Okay, I can able to get my history. So that is one advantage of maintaining it in a single database. Okay, so which means they are maintaining their database. Um, uh, they are maintaining all the branch database. Okay, all the branch database. It is reflecting in all the other branch also. Okay, so we can see so that is why we are maintaining the hospital ID here. Wherever I'm going, I'm getting the appointment in any branch. I can able to get the appointment in any branch. Okay, I can able to maintain the same data, same history of my particular ID for the particular patient. In the with respect to the patient, for each patient, they can able to maintain the history. Okay, so for that only, I'm giving hospital ID for the appointments and also for the admission. Okay, so okay, let us come to the point. So this hospital should comes under this hospital table, should comes under the master table. Okay. Similarly, who are all the other entities? This patient, right? So what are all the details I need to collect? Patient ID, first name, last name, gender, date of birth, phone number, email, address, and everything I need to collect with respect to the patient in order to keep in touch with them, and also in order to do the healthy follow up for that particular with that particular patient. I need all these details. Okay. So by knowing their age, date of birth, I can able to calculate the age, right? So by knowing their age, I can able to give treatment accordingly, and also by knowing their gender, and also by knowing their phone number, I can able to give them some, what to say, give them some discount, like that, right? If they are a regular customer for that particular hospital, if they are coming for surgery or anything, I can able to give by knowing their history. Okay, with respect to the this phone number should be unique, right? This phone number should be unique, of course. So by using this phone number and the patient ID, I can able to see all their history, and I can able to give some discount for that particular patient, or I can able to treat the patient accordingly by knowing their history, right? In an efficient way. So that is why we are collecting the all these details from the patient in the hospital management. So this patient is an entity. Okay, this patient is not going to change his name frequently, and his gender or email or his address. He's not going to do. He's not going to change his address daily on the daily basis, right? So that is not possible. So this should comes under the patient should comes under the master table. Okay, and also here I have used the patient ID. Okay, here I have used, you can see here I have used the patient ID as a primary key. Okay, mostly this should contain the primary key relationship, and we can use while doing the appointments and while giving the treatments, and while doing the registration for that particular patient. I can able to use this patient ID as a foreign key reference, and all the other columns should contain not null, and this one particular thing should be unique. Okay. So and also the next thing is a doctor table. So as I said, told you before, I need to collect it under that hospital. Okay, under that particular hospital, Mallar or Apollo or any other hospital. So they may contain n number of doctors working under that hospital. We need to collect their database also. Okay, that particular person's first name, last name, date of birth, phone number, email, address, and everything, and what is the specialty. Okay, whether he is a gynecologist, whether he is a pediatrician, whether he is an ortho, right? So whether he is related to some other bone related things, or a psychologist, or what is the specialty, whether he is a surgeon, heart surgeon. So what is his specialty? Okay, so we need to collect all those details also, and whatever details may require, we can able to collect. Okay, with respect to his certificate, whether he is certified in this particular thing or not. So we can able to collect that also from the doctors. Okay, this is with respect to. So doctor is also an entity, and he is not going to change his specialty or his email address or his name or his ID frequently. So this is also an entity which comes under the master table. Okay, doctor should also contain the which comes under the master table. So the next thing, okay, the next thing is with respect to the appointments. So appointments, we may get an appointments for each and every minute is also possible. For each and every second is also possible. For each and every 10 minutes is also possible, right? For with the interval of half an hour is also possible. So the appointment, the frequency of the entry in this particular table is more. Okay, so what we need to do is this appointment should this appointment is creating one event, right? It is creating one event. So this appointment should comes under the transaction. Okay. So with respect to this appointment, to whom we are going to give an appointment, what is his appointment ID? To which doctor we are going to give appointment for which patient we are going to give appointment. So you can see here this doctor and patient, right? This doctor and patient, it should be comes from this doctor ID and this patient ID. Okay. If you are going to put an appointment for the patient, and his entry should be in the patient table. Okay, he need to register first with all these details. He need to register first. Okay, and also the doctor ID should comes from the doctor table. So this is the primary key foreign key relationship we are producing. Hope you guys getting my point, right? Hope you guys clear in this. So this doctor ID is a foreign key here, and this doctor ID in the master table should be a primary key. And here I am establishing the foreign key relationship. What will happen when we create a relationship if I enter the wrong doctor ID? Okay, what are all the doctor ID present inside? For example, here I am having 1 2 3, for example 111 222 333, like that. The doctor IDs goes on, right? If I enter anything which is not present in the doctor table, in the master table, like 555, here the error will raise. Okay, the error will raise. Why? Because this particular 555 is not present in the doctor table. So this will raise an error. Why it is raising an error? Because we have produced a relationship is called as primary key and foreign key relationship. So that is why it is raising an error. Okay, in order to maintain the relationship between two table, we are establishing the primary key foreign key relationship. Similarly, the same thing is going to happen for the patient ID. Okay, if any patient ID has entered or has not entered in the patient table, you cannot able to give an appointment for that particular patient. Okay, initially he has to get registered inside the patient table, and then only we can give the appointment. So that is the rule and relationship we have produced. And with respect to the appointment date, which date this particular patient need an appointment? Okay, what is an appointment type? Whether is an it is a he's going to get admit in the hospital, or whether he is coming as an outpatient OP, like that the appointment type may vary. Okay, or whether he is an he might be an coming from some pharmacy, right? In order to pharmacist, in order to sell some tablets, or to explain the tablets. So he may be the some medical rep, so medical rep kind of appointment, or OP kind of appointment, or you are going to admit that patient. So or an emergency kind of appointment. So all these kind of things we can able to make a differentiate in the appointment type. And this is a hospital ID, which branch you are coming. Okay, under the which branch you are getting an appointment, whether in an inside Tamil Nadu, whether you are getting an appointment inside the Adyar branch or Valacheri branch, or in some other. If I am in Madurai, then I can able to get an appointment with respect to that hospital ID. Okay, so this is possible in an appointment. So this appointment table should comes under the transaction. Okay, so hope you guys understood this transaction. And admission, it stores the information about each patient who got admitted in the hospital. Okay, so who are all the patient admitted? Similarly, the admission ID, patient ID. Patient ID, we already know patient ID should comes from the patient table. Okay. So what is the admission date? What is the admitted date? He got admitted in the hospital. What is the admission type? Similarly, for the appointment type, we can able to give a variety of an admission type. Okay. So for the surgery, he got admitted for the surgery or general checkup or any other complications. So what is the admission type? Whether it is an emergency admission type or normal admission type. So like that, they have some varieties. And who is the admitted doctor? While admitting, which doctor attended this patient? And while discharging, which doctor which doctor has attended this patient? And also, what is the discharge date? And with respect to the hospitality, this is same. So this all this happens in which hospital? Okay. So these are all the things. So this admission is also should comes under the transaction. Okay, this admission should also comes under the transaction. Now we will look upon the lookup table. What are all the lookup columns? Let us take the branch. We can able to have the list of branch, right? So like Adayar, Velachery, or any other thing in a Madurai, right? Dindigul. So any branch, that hospital might be in any branch. So this should be comes under the list, a drop down list, so that while entering that patient can able to select that list. Okay. So what are all the other things we can able to do it with respect to the lookup table? You can see gender, right? So gender can be comes under the lookup. Gender can be male or female or other. Okay. So this can be comes under the gender. Okay. And what else? So gender, phone number, email, and speciality with respect to the doctor's speciality, right? So doctor can be a surgeon, gynecologist, or he is an ortho, or any speciality, right? And what else? So everything, phone number should be any date of birth. You can't give the list out, right? So the first name, last name, everything you can't give it as a predefined list out, right? So what can be the next thing? So here appointment type. So here we can take the appointment type as a list. So appointment type is an whether it is an emergency appointment or OP appointment or any general consultation appointment, right? So consultation kind of appointment. So what kind of appointment he is getting? That particular patient is getting. So this is about the appointment. So similarly, if you are going for the admission type, so this is also one of the list out we can take, right? So my admission type is an emergency similarly. So it is an emergency admission or a normal general checkup admission or it is for any surgery kind of admission. So we can take it as any admission type. What is the admission type that particular patient is going through? Okay. So these are all the list out. Okay. These are all the list out which comes under the lookup tables. Okay. Lookup columns. Okay. So while doing the, you see, while doing the any DB design, for an application, first initially just don't go and do hurry up the things by doing okay, patient ID, first name, last name. So what are all the, so don't do like that. You have to do all these things. Okay, you have to initially you have to do all these things, and then only you have to proceed. So you have to first thing you have to do the master table, lookup table, and transaction table. What are all the table, and also constraints needed. Constraints, right? So what are all the constraints needed? For example, the hospital ID should not exceed 5 digit. Okay, and we can take a phone number. Phone number, it should not exceed 10 digit or 12 digit. So sometimes they use +91 like that they use, right? So it should not exceed the 13 digit. Okay, and also patient name or doctor name, it should not exceed the 50 characters. And so similarly, you can do, so what are all the primary key foreign key relationship you are going to keep, right? So primary key foreign key relationship is doctor ID, and this doctor ID should comes inside the doctor table and also inside the appointment table. Like that, you have to decide the primary key and foreign key relationship. So what are all the constraints needed? You have to do the according to your requirement. You have to do this kind of workout before going for the table and before going for the data collection. So when you design all these constraints, master table, lookup, transaction, then it is very, very handy. Okay, you can make it use of without any worrying about the design further. By on seeing this itself, you can able to do all those table design. How big it may be, you know, you don't need to worry about that. Okay, based on the collect the requirement first. Okay, these are all the requirements you need to collect, and after that you need to design a table like this. And after this only, after completing all the design only, you have to do the create table, and you have to do the inserts. Okay, insert all the data inside the table. Okay, you have to, before that you have to collect the data, collect the data, right? You have to collect all the data, and you have to create the table and in the Postgres, and you have to insert all those things. So this is the proper procedure you need to follow. So in order to get practice, okay, in order to just to get the practice, what you need to do is, in order to just to get the practice, I will go here, okay, and I will try to get some mock data set generation. Just go to Google, and you can see there are many websites. See here, there are many websites are there. One among them is Mokaro. So you can go to this website and just see here. You can customize your field name. So what I'm going to do is I will show you how to create. And okay, I'll try to create something. I'll try to create a patient table. Okay, patient ID, first name, last name is already there, and email, gender. So date of birth is not there, I think. So I don't want IP address. Instead of that, I need a date of birth, and it should be. You can see here, it should be a date, right? It should be a date. Currency, custom list, credit card, so company name. So see, you can see here how many varieties they are keeping. So you can see here gender itself, They have given female, male in an word, F or M, like that, or this kind of binary thing you need or not. So you can able to keep all these things. You can make it use of it. See here, phone number also, they have plenty of varieties, right? So date also, we will have the date. You can see here time zone. Okay. So where is the date? Uh, Find the time. Okay. So you can see here date and time. So it will generate under what between date. Okay. So the patient can be any date, right? In order to stimulate, in order to give some simulation, um, which is near to the real time datas. Okay. You can make an adjustment of these things manually. Okay. You can able to do the customized thing manually. Okay. So for example, from 2015, okay, from 2015 to 23, I need this kind of date. So like that, you can able to choose. Look, you can able to choose the dates. Okay. So here I have choose the dates for from 2019. Okay. From 2019 to till date. My patient date of birth should be like this. So gender, email address. It will generate some duplicate email address, duplicate names, duplicate patient ID. Okay. So if you want to do some customized thing with respect to this patient ID, you can do that. Okay. You can see here how many things they have given with respect to the URL, with respect to a random URL which you need to generate, right? The car model, colors. See here how many things they have kept, right? So, what else I need? I need a phone number, right? So I need a phone number. So you can able to add another field. Okay, just add another field and give. See for with respect to the phone number, you can see here if you want to generate the phone number like this, then he will generate. Okay, you can fix the format also and address. I want to add one more field with respect to the address. You can see here address. Okay, so we can see here address line. This is the address which you want. Yes, this is the address format which I want. Okay, so that's all. So you need to specify number of rows. So 1,000 datas I need. So it should be in the form of CSV or it should be in the form of SQL. For SQL and all, they will automatically give the insert commands, create commands and everything. Okay, so you can make use of it. Okay, so with respect to CSV or the line ending is Windows, I need Windows. So I need a header, yes. So after giving all these things, what you need to do is just go to where is the generate, where is the download? I couldn't see that right now. Okay, you can see here it is hiding. Okay, download the data. Or if you want to do the preview, just he will show you the preview. See here the first name, last name, email, gender. So it is in a random format. Okay, he will mix all those things, all the datas, all the dates, all the genders, and he will do some mixing in the even format, in the random way. He will gives me the 1,000 data set. Okay, so it is showing first 100, but we need 1,000, right? We have given the 1,000 and he will give you the 1,000. Now I'm just downloading. It will take time. I will just do it with the 100. I'm just downloading the data. Okay. See here, it got downloaded in the CSV format within us within not more than 5 minutes, right? Within 5 minutes, I have generated this much of data for the patient details. So by using this, you can just try to insert inside the Postgres. Okay, just go to Postgres and copy this all these column. Okay, what are all the columns we have given? Just try to create a table using the patient ID, name, and everything. Okay, and you can create the data set in order to practice. Okay, in order to practice, you can do the data set. Okay, with respect to the appointment also, you can able to create some mock datas, admissions. So create all these things and do practice. Okay, so hope you guys understood this. Please try to do practice on this while coming to the next session. Okay, okay, I will stop the recording and give after stopping